Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's EricRayweather back here going over the latest Madden 22 update. Now, yesterday we talked about all of the gameplay stuff, we talked about the franchise mode stuff, and all of the other modes, and all of the changes that came to the game. I will link that video below in the pinned comment if you haven't seen it yet. Today we're going to go over the rest of the update, which is all of the authenticity updates, the stadium upgrades, the player likeness, the equipment, and all of that stuff, because there's a bunch of that to go over as well. Starting with the player likeness, we got a lot of rookies and second-year players that finally got their scans put in the game. We've got Jamar Chase, the leader for Offensive Rookie of the Year as of right now, going crazy this year, finally in the game. Other wide receivers such as Jalen Waddle were put into the game as well for the Dolphins. Not only him, but of course we're going to have Devonta Smith for the Eagles as well, who's also having a really good year, the Heisman winner last year in college. So you're going to see that now that some time has passed, they're able to put a lot of these rookies and second-year players that they couldn't get at the combine last year due to COVID and stuff like that. Here's another big one people have been talking about, Trey Lance. He looked absolutely silly in the game, his generic scan, and now he's starting for the Niners, so got to get him right, and they did in the game. Some other Niners second-year player Brandon Ayuk, finally got him in the game with his real hair as well. I know on Next Gen they're starting to scan the real hair more often now instead of using that fake Madden hair, but you don't really see it because, you know, you got helmets on in game. But also another second-year player, Javon Kinlaw, is in the game. We've got the rookie running back, Trey Sermon, who's been starting to get some play over there in San Francisco as well with some of the injuries that have happened. He's looked pretty decent so far. We've got J.C. Horn, who is injured currently, but there's a lot of, young cornerbacks coming in that have been playing well, and he was playing well before he went out. They got him in the game. Also got second-year cornerback for the Panthers, C.J. Anderson, who was just traded there from the Jags, and the Panthers just have like a super deep cornerback position. I mean, they got Gilmore, Henderson, they've got, there's a ton of guys there. AJ Bouye, I mean, they got so many corners. We also got Patrick Surtain for the Broncos, rookie in the game. He's been playing decent as well. We got Darnay Holmes, second year or maybe third year player actually for the Giants. You're going to see there's some third and fourth year players mixed in here too. Kadarius Toney, who just had an amazing game last week. I think he had like 180 yards, just went absolutely crazy. Nice weapon for the Giants. They got him in the game. They've got second year player Xavier McKinney out of Alabama, the safety there, who I thought he played pretty decent last year. I haven't really been paying attention to what he's done this year so far, but he's now in the game. Another second-year player, Kenneth Murray of the Chargers. Chargers looking like one of the favorites in the AFC right now. Haven't been able to say that in a while, but they're just cooking right now, doing some big things already at 4-1. We got Patrick Queen, second-year player out of LSU for the Ravens. And I'll say, man, I'm watching the game on Monday, man. He looked like he's struggling a little bit right now from my LSU Tigers, but he looks like he's struggling just a little bit. We've got another second-year player, Antoine Winfield Jr. was really big in that playoff push last year and in the Super Bowl. They finally got his face scanned into the game. Also, another member of the Buccaneers, Sean Murphy Bunting, has been put in the game as well. Another member of that young secondary group that's been playing pretty decent overall. We've got another second-year player, Michael Pittman Jr., who I guess you could say he's the wide receiver one maybe for the Colts right now. I know T.Y. Hilton's about to come back, but he's kind of like the future there. We've got another third-year player here with Rock Ya-Sin, and it's funny, I never really knew what this guy looked like. He looks super old for a young guy. Like, I don't know, he just has an old-looking face. We got Dalton Schultz, fourth-year player who's finally emerging this year for the Cowboys. Honestly, he's been putting in work for my fantasy team, I'll tell you that. Got the comb-over hair going, so he's finally in the game. A fifth-year player, Gerald Everett, you're seeing there's some older guys that they're finally getting into the game, some guys that are now more prominent players that they just never was able to get their scans for. We've got rookie Caleb Farley, or Fairley, I'm never sure how to say his last name. I'm not even sure, has he been playing so far this year, but he's definitely in the game now. Solid young player coming out of college. We've got John Johnson III. He's been in the league for some years as well with the Rams, now with the Browns. They finally got his scan into the game. We've got Laviska Shenault Jr., second-year wide receiver with the Jags. He's finally in the game. I think they could have probably did a little bit better on his scan, to be honest. And they didn't mention Travis Etienne in the write-up, but I'm pretty sure his scan wasn't in the game before, but it definitely is now. I think they might have left him out, or maybe he was already in and I just never noticed. Now, these are some players that they still need to get in, and these will be the upcoming guys they'll be getting in. You got Odafe from the Ravens. Najee Harris is definitely probably the biggest name rookie who still doesn't have a scan in the game after this update. He's been doing well. We've got Gregory Rousseau. He's been doing really good for the Bills. Had that crazy interception Sunday night They got to get him into the game next. I know they got a lot of these guys. They just haven't actually put them in yet. They put kind of different batches in at different times. You've got Greg Newsome, another young rookie who's been playing really good this year. Got to get him in the game. Rashawn Slater's been killing it for the Chargers, looking like, honestly, one of the best left tackles this year so far. He's been going crazy. Eric Stokes of the Packers, another guy, rookie that they got to get in the game. We've got Rashad Bateman. They got to get him into the game as well. I don't even think he's played yet. I think this week he might make his debut, so we'll start seeing what he can do for the Ravens. Tyler Heineke, the Washington football team actually tweeted this out. They were like, what are y'all doing with our guy Heineke? This doesn't look like him. Now he's a starter, kind of more, more of a bigger name now than he was years ago when he was nobody, so they got to get him in there. We got Rondell Moore. Got to get him in the game. Darnell Mooney, I mean, this generic scan is just disrespectful. They got to get him in the game. I'm sure he's one of the upcoming ones they're going to be doing as well. Got a few more players here. Fred Warner, the best linebacker in the game, X-Factor player. Not sure how they still don't have him in the game. Don't know what's going on with that. And to go along with him, Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in the game, another X-Factor player. He's not in the game yet either, which is pretty crazy. They got to get them in soon. Now, they also added some new cleats to the game. They finally put the Jordan 5s in the game. They got the Jordan 5 mid. Now, for some reason, they're all black cleats, so they don't have like team colors for whatever reason. We also got the Jordan 5 low, but I don't understand why they're just all black. They don't have like team colors. Normally, most of the cleats are team colors, including the Jordan cleats, but I guess the Jordan 5 cleats, at least as of right now, they're just all black cleats. So just kind of know that if you want to equip them on your player, here's kind of an in-game shot of DeAndre Hopkins wearing the lows, and you'll see a lot of players have been wearing those this year. Every year they kind of get new Jordan cleats, that players are wearing. They also added the 99 Club Jordan 5 cleats, which are just the Jordan 5 cleats, but they're gold and they have the 99 logo on them for the 99 overall players. Now, they did some updates to some of the stadiums. The Caesars Superdome, they added the suites behind the end zone. This is a new renovation they did in the Superdome. They also did a lot of other changes, but they updated that prior. This was kind of the last thing they had to do, was put the suites into the new Superdome. And the same thing with the Panthers Stadium, I believe. There might have been some other updates. I'm not as familiar with the Panther Stadium, but I know they got the suites behind the end zone as well now. But there may be some other slight changes. I know that the stadium did undergo some renovations recently, so they're putting that into the game. We also got new uniforms put in the game for the Niners. We got a few of them. We got the 1980s Classic Away, now an option that you can use for throwback uniforms in the game. You also have the 1994 Classic Away Throwback, which is kind of similar to, I think, another alternate jersey that is in the game, but it has the patch on it. Now, you also have the 1998 Classic Home and the 1998 Classic Away. You may remember, like, when Patrick Willis first came in the league and stuff, these were kind of the uniforms that they were wearing back then before they transitioned into the ones they're wearing now. We've also got an update to the Browns 1960s uniforms. I think they updated the helmet here. Maybe there was something needed to correct with it. Same thing with the Colts, the 1960s. They changed the jerseys. It maybe was something to do with the stripes or something they had to fix, but they corrected the throwbacks there. That's going to be all for today. That is the authenticity and player likeness updates. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.